A TV show that had everything, with complex characters, incredible humor, about the harshness and the coldness of the real life, deep meaning messages you can directly implement into your life, and a TV show who formed and changed a whole generation forever. That is the brilliance of SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob premiered on May 1st of 1999 on Nickelodeon, directly after the Kids' Choice Award, and it aired with the episodes Help Wanted, which introduced the viewers to SpongeBob in general and to one of his most important aspects of his life, his job. Followed by the episode Reef Blower, which gave the viewers lots of world building and just how physics and SpongeBob work in general. It also introduced some first more complex dynamics between main characters. Many amazing and iconic episodes followed, like Bubble Stand, Ripped Jeans, Plankton, Pizza Delivery, and SB129. Every single of those episodes were unique and amazing, and again filled with lots of world building for future episodes and seasons. But what was always a very important part of the show is just how real it was. Even though it's a kids show, it takes place in a real and hard world. SpongeBob has to work every day, just like your parents when he was a child, under a ruthless and demanding boss. And he doesn't care about SpongeBob or his customers. He just cares about money. As a kid, why would somebody be like this? Why would you trade satisfaction and happiness for money? Just for the sake of money. But as we all grow up, we met many people who are like this. Many bosses or people in leadership positions are exactly like Mr. Krabs. Maybe also some of us grew up and turned like this. And SpongeBob doesn't work something glamorous, like a police officer, a doctor, or something with superpowers. He's just a fry cook at a burger place. I remember when I grew up, my parents always told to me, do good at school and go to college or you're gonna end up working at a McDonald's for a minimum wage. And this is basically SpongeBob's job. A metaphor for a loser with the worst possible job from my parents. And probably also from your parents. And on side of that, the main protagonist SpongeBob doesn't even have a driver license. And he seems to be just incapable of ever getting one. He lives alone with his snail, which is basically a cat, but without a wife or kids or anybody. And the world he lives in is filled with evil villains, which attack the city and the society as a whole, but also not too less of bullies, who just try to make SpongeBob's life difficult. And the city he lives in is marked by the effects of climate change. The houses of most people are basically exhaust pipes from cars. So, as a sum up, the main protagonist is living a miserable life in a terrible and depressing environment. Probably everybody in his place would hate his life. But not so SpongeBob SquarePants. And against all odds, he ignores everything. And he truly loves his life. He loves his job and enjoys it. Not because of the money, because of the fun of it. And because he brings joy to the people with the things he do. He fills his free time with hobbies. Even though he doesn't have a real own family, I'm talking about kids and a wife, he builds connections everywhere. And he tries to make friends wherever he can. And the villains and the bullies, he just resolves the conflicts in his own way. And always without violence. The biggest contrast to SpongeBob is his neighbor Squidward. He is a real adult, trapped in this world. He lives basically the same life as SpongeBob. The same street, similar houses, at least from the size and comfort aspect. He has the same job, the same loneliness, the same broken world. But he's just not blinded by optimism like SpongeBob. He knows how bad things are, and his only hope is to someday break free of this all. To break free with his hobbies, and to become successful and famous. He's grumpy, always in a bad mood, and never satisfied. Squidward is a boring adult who lives through every cliché of a boring adult. When we were children watching the show, he was like the personification of this weird and abstract adulthood. And to be honest, he fits perfectly in this world. But SpongeBob on the other hand is different. He's more like an optimistic child who was placed in this adulthood but never lost his spark. We all used to be like SpongeBob when we were children, but getting older and confronted with more and more workload and tasks to do and appointments to keep, we slowly started to transform into a version of Squidward. And with those playful ideas, combined with the ridiculous humor and the brilliant writing, SpongeBob became a huge worldwide success.
I've got a crisp dollar bill for the next fella to take a bath in this house.
And there is a certain group of people, and when you're part of it, you know what I mean. I'm talking about this last few millennials and the early Gen Z. People born this time were exactly at the right age during SpongeBob's prime time. And this humor, it stays with you for life. The references, the jokes, they just keep coming up. I think I don't have a single week in my life without a SpongeBob reference. And the moment you meet somebody who also grew up with this, I don't know a single piece of media where this happened in this scale. For the first 3 seasons, SpongeBob went on like this, with even more iconic moments, like in Band Geeks, Chocolate with Nuts, Imitation Crabs, the camping episode, and the Krusty Krab training video. I could basically be here and just go through every episode, but you get the point. And at this point, I would love to hear it from you. What is your all-time favorite SpongeBob episode from the entire show? Please write it down in the comment section below. For me, it's difficult. I probably have to go with Band Geeks. This episode was just, it was just built different. And the 3rd season peaked into the SpongeBob movie. The movie was absolute perfection. Everything worked and came together. Some of the best jokes, new and old characters, an incredible beautiful art style. Even David Hasselhoff was in the movie. As a German, we love David Hasselhoff. And guess what was the topic of the movie? On the surface, it was just an adventure story about finding a lost treasure and saving Bikini Bottom from plankton. But beneath that, it was again a story about growing up, but not losing who you are. SpongeBob thinks at first that being a man is about having a beard and doesn't be scared of anything. But this isn't the truth. He learns that what makes him really strong is just to be yourself and not trying to be something that you aren't. SpongeBob isn't a tough man. He isn't tough like this hitman Dennis. Or like those dudes in this sketchy bar. A true masterpiece. The creators had planned that this movie would be the end of SpongeBob. 3 amazing seasons, an amazing movie, the end. But the show didn't stop after this movie. It kept going. Until today. New episodes and seasons are still coming out. More than 2.5 decades after this first pilot episode. But the show totally changed. The original creator of SpongeBob, Steven Hillenburg, stepped back. And the show slowly started to feel different. The humor became louder and more exaggerated. The writing lost its cleverness. And the overall tone shifted.
So, how does this crazy...
This didn't happen from one episode to another. It was more like a gradual change. And where the good era ended depends on who you ask. In my opinion, I think at the end of the 5th season, it just became afterwards way too weird and over the top. Some people like the stuff that came afterward, but there are also many hardcore fans who draw the line exactly after the SpongeBob movie. But regardless of this, everyone agrees that it's not the same show anymore. It's kinda sad, but they don't ruin the legacy of SpongeBob. I'm pretty sure that there will come a day where I will have kids. And I will stare at them and hope that they stay like SpongeBob as long as possible and don't turn into a Squidward adult. Especially in a world like ours. My name is Miguel Costa. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the video. This channel is still pretty small, So if you enjoyed the video and you would like to support me, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to this channel. And I'd say, see you guys on my next video.